everybody. This is Leslie Powers, and this is Dissolving the Divide. I'm here with Derek Bartolocelli. How you doing, Derek?
Splendido. Bienvenido.
Over
That's
the UK.
Italiano, where
Oh,
Ellie used to live, but yeah.
oh wow. Look who we got here.
Yeah, I'm in France, by the way, and being back in America for the past year and a half led me to, create some wonderful new friendships and connections. Ellie is one of them, and I met her through a mutual friend, Chris Baldwin, who we got, our musical magicianal mixes going on. And yeah, she's down with hip hop, as am I. If you've seen my channel, Awakening Mind. All that aside, I've been so impressed with what Ellie has going on. Just, I love her sense of, awareness of the reality and within herself, all that good stuff, the shadow work, and what she's done as far as like holistic entrepreneurship and like building connections and having ripple effects within the communities and the earth itself, and having that proper connection of, outside of the matrix and just in nature, all these things, and with people, and just like, hey, more folks come on in, like. So she's a woman of many different skill sets, and it's hard for me to put that into one intro because, first time I've actually spoken to you in person, but, following your works and some of your posts on Facebook, all that good stuff over the past year or so has been amazing. And it's unfortunate didn't catch you in Oregon on my little road trips. You're in Colorado right now doing big things, with bigger things up in the future. And yeah, it's really exciting to finally get a chat with you, Ellie. Thank you so much. Blaze on, yo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Elly
appreciate
Blaise. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and your mission and where you are now. Yeah.
man. A little about myself. I'm a textile manufacturer slash tailor, custom tailor, and I make clothes from scratch. But that got really boring about 15 years in, and I'm about 20 years now. And about 5 years ago, something brought me to organic fabric and started making my own fabric. And I became a textile manufacturer, making like hemp products, and that's when the mushroom leather and stuff started coming into play. So I've been kind of living this new lifestyle for about 5 years, but it's kind of been leading up to it. And yeah, so my background is fashion, but kind of work that into my lifestyle. And that's how I kind of live, it's pretty fun. I
Yeah.
enjoy what I
So you've simplified your lifestyle, it sounds like, pretty dramatically, and separated from the matrix, from the kind of hoity-toity life of fashion and maybe the education, where the education was taking you, it seems like, into a very detached, kind of self-sufficient lifestyle. Could you share a little bit more about that?
Yes. When I first graduated my first college, I got a job in Vegas, and I really did not like the company. The people that I was working with were very shallow, self-centered, and just ugly. I was not vibing. But I wanted to grow in my industry somehow, and I didn't know how I was going to make a difference. So I literally dabbled in every single part of my industry and tried to see where I could fit. And at the end, I realized I'm supposed to dominate the industry and teach others how to do everything because nobody's doing what I want. So I realized that later. But yeah, it took me a long time to get there. I really think I'm more of an underground fashion person. I work with people who want to sew, who want to make things, who really want to learn and don't want to pay or have a lot of like people who can help them get that knowledge, or they can't go to college or anything. Like I'm one of those people that's like a Robin Hood, like the underground, where it's like someone gave me this knowledge, I'm going to give it back. So I try to give it to people who can't get it. And that's kind of where my mission began, on how to make fabric and teach people how to make their own fabric and teach them how to dye with flowers that you grow in your own garden, and teach you how to make everything from scratch so you don't have to pay for anything. And like the people in my industry, they I'm not saying they dislike me. They give me props, you know. I've done fashion shows in Milan, Paris. I mean, you can name it. I'm pretty well established in the fashion world, but they don't really like me because I go against everything they're for, like robbing the industry, $8,000, $9,000 for a garment. Like, I'm not into it. I don't think we should be elitists. I don't think we should be walking around like we're better than everybody because someone taught us how to make clothes. And like, we should teach everyone how to make clothes instead of isolating people into categories because they're less than us, because they know less than us. I think it's mean. I didn't like the industry. I didn't like their vision. So I started my own mission to teach people how to be self-sufficient in whichever industry they wanted to be in. Fashion is my expertise, but I do know how to garden. I do know how to, you know, do all kinds of different things, like he said. And I became a do-it-yourself type person about 5 years ago. And it was like, I'm making wood benches with fucking, you know, saws, and I'm going hard, like trying to just learn everything I can on how to make anything that you have to pay for. Because one day when we don't have consumerism and we don't have people paying for things, I can make those things. I could teach people how to make those things. We could teach our kids right now. So when we're dying, they're like, oh, please, we don't need industry. We already know how to make a table and we know how to do everything. And like pottery, glass, everything. Like, I'm really involved in all the categories. I think it should be, everyone should know how to do anything, like, and even herbs and holistic remedies and medicine and stuff. I really believe that we should teach our children how to do that too, not go to school to be a doctor, but more or less learn what herbs help, learn what things fix us, learn what our bodies do and what's good for us, and learn how to make them better instead of depending on someone to do it for us because they're probably not going to have what's best in our interest, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really what that's
You're really, you're really pointing out that the dangers or the typical way that money drives the industry, especially the fashion industry, and that when money is the factor, and then you make these clothes that are like $1,000 dress or whatever, you're creating this huge social class division, right? And people are striving somehow to look like those people, and but you know, it's very divisive, and it's really you're a living example of dissolving the divide, really, by stepping out of that and saying, you know, we can all learn how to sew our clothes.
exactly, because we're not elitists anymore because no one's better than one, you know? It's
yeah.
yeah. And then like when they meet me in person, they're like, oh my God, you should be treating me bad. You're a fashion designer. It's like, that's sad. That's really sad that like I can't be a nice person and have this as a career. Like I have to be like this douchey energy. I don't agree with those people. I'm not a big fan of that energy. And when I'm in those types of rooms, I'm changing their vibe. I'm like, get on the level. You guys aren't doing your job. You're not teaching people how to be this way. You're acting like you're a god. I've met gardeners, I've met farmers, 20 years in the game. They won't teach anyone. They just better than you. It's like, wow. I mean, come on, you guys know how to do everything. You can't show anyone. It's really surprising. Everybody's an elitist. They think I worked so hard to get this knowledge. You need to walk uphill barefoot in snow too. It's not fair. And I just think it's dumb because I have a 16-year-old daughter, okay? She knows how to do everything I know how to do. And I do fashion shows and she's an MUA at my fashion shows. So like she'll never have to work for money. She'll always have opportunity, but she'll never have to chase the dollar. And she'll always have a dream and she'll just get to do whatever she wants. And that's how people should teach their kids because they're like, you want to be a firefighter? Oh, well, you're going to have to go to this school and that school and hate your life and this and that. And you're never going to get your dream. Good luck. It's like, I don't understand that. I'm never going to be that. I'm the regenerative, bring the kids back and get the kids to be like, mom and dad don't know what they're doing. Everybody, come on, let's go over here. You know, let them go kill themselves. They're doing drugs. Let's go over here. Like they're not, the kids know better. They do.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's like, whose vision are you going to plug into? Someone else's vision and their company and their job, you know, or are you going to plug into your own, you know, and create your own?
Be part of a bigger project where nobody is has any, they're not getting anything from any of it. They're just, I have this, I want to give back, I want to contribute. And now it becomes this beautiful thing where like everybody's helping each other and it's not for commerce. That is where we went wrong. It's like, oh, be a wood builder. I like building tables, but like I get paid $80 per table. It's like, so do you like wood building or do you like the $80 per table? And now it gets to the point where people are starting to be like, well, I mean, I like wood building, but like I like the money. It's like, so you're not actually a wood builder. You just like money. And like I get that, but that's not where we're at. We don't do that. If you like making clothes, I'm gonna show you how to do it. You don't need money. If you like growing, I'm gonna show you how to do it. You don't need money. And they can't believe this. They just don't understand. Like I proved it last year. I worked on a farm and they were like, you're going to need 90 grand to run this farm. And I only needed like 20 because I reused a lot of stuff and I showed them how to use calcium, kelp and stuff from nature to make the soil and do some, you know, burning some things and making some biochar so we can make some new soil. And they were just blown away. They're like, we don't need chemicals. We don't need this. And it's like, no, everything is free. It's given to us on this planet to use. And we've been told.
And that's exactly why I wanted to hang out with you and like come visit you, see your operations. You got your hemp farm, you're growing that. You're growing the prima materia to make your own proper final product. That
Yeah.
it should be more common. It's really incredible. It's so honorable. Yeah. And it reminds me of another friend, a mutual friend, Justin Wagman, who's up in Oregon, actually, near Grants Pass, who's doing his own craft and, you know, but blacksmithing with, you know, iron and steel and all that. And I don't think he's doing it for like how many tables or whatever knives he's, you know, making, counting that and how much he's going to make from it. It's really out of the love and all that. And like going to see him last month, it was really beautiful.
That guy could get a car off that table. That guy could get a house off that table. This is how people live when they don't pay for things.
He made his own house, but yeah.
Dang, you don't pay. You're like,
you can make your own, I'm sure.
I'm done.
Yeah.
No, people are like, make me a coat and here's a car. It's like, I'm done. Like people are always surprised. Like, how do you live this lavish lifestyle and you don't go to work? It's like, you know, I really am trying to get people to understand it's a trade life. I live trade. That's how I live. And it's about getting the right people in your life that have the things you need. That's it. And then you get what you need and you're taken care of as long as you're doing your part of the trade. And it's always, I mean, money's a trade, isn't it? So it's the same thing, right? It's like they see it as value of money to them. It's the same step. So what's the difference? I'm not doing anything. I'm just bringing back that trade life. I make a lot of fur out of I take like a net and then I'll pull real animal fur through the net and it's like fur that's real, but I don't have to kill an animal to make it. So it's like this weird thing. A lot of people want that. So I'll be like, here we go. I'm going to give you this. You're going to give me something. You know, I make a lot of stuff for trade. It's really cool. So I'm trying to teach people that technical skills is really where it's going to be for the next era, the golden era that's coming. It's a spiritual movement, but it's also about trades. People who have learned trades and have learned to do stuff they enjoy, people are going to appreciate that. They're going to see that and go, man, you really put love in that. I want some of that in my life. I'm going to give you something I put love into. And that's what it's about, sharing the love, really. So we have to get rid of money because money has curse on it. It's literally when you touch it, you're sick. Okay. You said you're paying rent, but you're about to get out of that. You know, it's a mindset. It's like right now you believe you have to. Mm-hmm. But one day someone's going to pay that rent for you for your gift of helping people because what you do is help people. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm going to help you. And they're going to be like, here's a house, honey. Here you go, Leslie, and you're done. And that's how you get into the trade life. They see it as value enough for that payment, you know, and that's what it's about. It's not taking money for your value anymore. It's not taking money for anything.
Yeah. I'm not selling my time by the hour, right?
Exactly. You're helping with it. It's a vibe. It's a thing. They have to accept it.
The law of Gebel, you know, reciprocity, all that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's you guys can do anything into your life with this, you know?
I love that. the confidence that you bring, and it comes
Oh, yeah.
through your experience, through the
Spewing out abundance or something.
it's beyond the cognitive, but the
Sorry.
knowing, and you're doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. 10 years I've been doing this, 10 years, and I live wonderfully, and I haven't paid rent in 10 years. So again, and people wonder, how are you doing that? But it's because I have built up a community of friends that we all need each other. We love each other. We help each other, and we all build each other's businesses up. We all support everything. It's like, so everybody can eat, but also I want everyone to have that, not just our group, you know? So again, it becomes this thing where it's like, how do I distribute this more? I have things. So here's the thing about money is that the more you get, you have to give it away. The more you give it away, the more you get. So it's like, it's really funny how it works, but the more you want it, you can't get any. You can't get any. You want it, you can't get it. But the more you give it away, you throwing it away. Oh man, it's coming at you. It's making you bleed. There's so much. It's like, so it's a curse. It's like you get it when you don't want it. And so that's another part of this 10-year program that I've been on, that it's like, how can I distribute this money? So I've got 3 warehouse spaces where I'm teaching classes on showing kids how to grow their own mushroom leather. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting public patents on that mushroom leather so everybody can grow it and not make big business out of it. I mean, seriously, because you know what they're going to do. As soon as it drops, boom, how do we make it so no one can have it?
Exactly.
I'm going to not have that. We ain't having that. So like, I'm having all these things happen with this money. People are giving it to me. I'm using it for the kids. I'm using it for the kids. I don't want the money. You know, they think I want superstardom and everybody to jock me and all this. Hide. Can I get a veil? Like, I want people to pay attention to the children, help them. They need help. They need to be paid attention to. So that's the problem with our society, is they give attention to the people who are doing all these cool things, but they're not actually doing the help. They're not paying attention to the right things, focus on the wrong things. So
what comes up for me is like, what has intrinsic value versus what is often valued in our society, right? Intrinsic value is our, how would you define that? What's really valuable?
I have tons of different versions that I would describe value as, but as far as that, I would see that as like a spiritual value, where like someone would be like, you know what, I'm going to help guide you through a certain place. And that's a value to them because they're mentally unstable and in a place of darkness. And like, I just brought you out of that. And to them, that's like, they're brand new. So that's like a real helpful thing. You're helping someone in there that's detrimental to their life. That's like, you just pulled someone out of suicide. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a good emotional, like mental health example, a direct help, right? So it could be around feeding, food, shelter, clothing, self-defense.
Because hungry, naked, sick sucks, for real.
And what about that food, clothes, medicine you were talking about? You can let them in about that in a second, but I mean, like intrinsic values and like what are you talking about? Like, are people aligned to like universal law, cosmic law, whatever, and like embodying that, and they're bringing that value to the table? They're, like that knowledge is power, whatever, and like if each one teach one, whatever, that's eternal shit. like life.
And then there's the value of freedom, right? The value of our individual choice, our value of our time, our value of our creative expression, our free speech. All of that is so vital. And we're selling it ourselves in this, matrix marketplace. And I think it steals our spirit. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so true. It's how you do it. There's this one movie that I always refer to, which is funny because I like a lot of these like psychedelic movies that make you think, but it's this movie called Existence. And it's basically where someone has to say the code the right way to get the response they want. So they say it a bunch of different times and they get a robotic response every time until they say it a certain way, then they get what they want. And I always think that's what the spiritual journey is for those people. It's like, how many ways can I say this before someone gets it? You know what I mean? It's really funny. And it's that fake woke parking lot shaman guy, you know, where he's like, hey, listen to me, buddy, I got you. And they're giving you stuff and you're just like, sure, you really know, but like you're amateur, you know what I mean? Because the real ones know you don't need any help to get there. And that's what I always get in debates with these spiritual leaders. I've done a lot of that stuff. Ayahuasca, peyote with shamans and everything. And it's been a whole thing. And this was in my early 20s. To get rid of my PTSD. And that was a whole journey experience in itself to understand the psyche and how it works. And what it is we're trained so deeply in our roots to believe that we need guidance. And it's not true. We have to listen to our own gut. What we need is right here inside of us. We know what we need to do. And we're waiting for someone else to show us a better way. But it's not true. And that's where the confidence has to come. You have to know your truth, know what you want to do, know how to get it, and then just fully on gung-ho in that confidence, you know, and that's when it will come to you, because magnetism is another spiritual tool that a lot of people weren't trained properly on. And when you turn on your magnetism, what it is you attract things to you that you need, but not that you want. And a lot of people are like, I want a car. I turned on my magnetism and it didn't work. It's like, you don't get this, you know, so there it can't be superficial wants, you know, it has to be a spiritual need for your soul to prosper and become a better version of you, for it to come to you. Otherwise, no point.
Sorry. That's not to say, you know, a vehicle could not, you know, come in handy for someone in need of that at a particular time, of course, you know, but I get what you're saying with the whole materialism and stuff. Leslie, what were you going to say?
Well, I was thinking about how
I cut you off first.
Trauma,
right.
You know, and the chronic stress of the mainstream life, right, cuts us off from ourself. You know, it basically requires that we dissociate from our natural signals within, our intuition, and even our body. You know, like how many times are we, you know, kids are in school, they can't go to the bathroom when they want to, you know, right? And so
Prison.
we learn to cut off from our own body and our own signals and compartmentalize. And so we may have a part of us that is seeking, you know, to be free or happy. But if we haven't healed the trauma, we're still caught in a loop, you know, that sabotages ourselves. So there's the mental health aspect here of really slowing down. You know, the other value of this lifestyle change is hopefully giving individuals the chance to follow a more natural rhythm, able to actually heal properly and develop the listening skills to know your own truth inside, right? Hear the signals.
You have to shut off all the things that distract you, and you have to get rid of anything that you do that's for feel good, which is a long list, let me tell you. And when you get rid of that, then you can start hearing your gut. You're like, oh, this is wrong, you know. A lot of people block that feeling so they can stay content with their choices, even if their choices aren't what's best for their life right now. It's what they think is going to get them to what's best later.
Right. And that's the difference between listening to a guide or an external guru versus learning to develop the confidence within yourself and even know like what your gift is and what it is that you want to give to the world, right? Like you,
because listening to someone else's gift, not your own. You see, now they're telling you to do their job. That's it. They're using
but that
you.
goes beyond like, or it's different than like having a mentor that's really going to help, you know,
way different.
Turn yourself inward and, you know, like rediscover yourself from different perspectives that you weren't, you know, keyed into beforehand in a sense, I guess. But
yeah, mentor
definitely know what you mean. There's a lot of false light gurus out there too. So like
a lot.
Take heed, everyone. But
I genuine. You could tell when someone's being honest, when there's truth involved, when they really want to help. When they want attention, there's a different vibe there, you know? So you can always tell. And I always ask them questions, really intrusive, spiritual questions to get them on that level. And if they know better, it's like, why are you trolling? Why are you doing this to people? You should be out here helping if you actually know better. You're ruining this. They're playing with people to, you know, be another test or whatever they think they're doing, but it's actually not good for their soul to be hurting others. That's the truth. Because
And a
you're
narcissist is gonna narc or whatever that shit. So could you, you know, delve into like how can people really, because what you're talking about, like that inner guidance within oneself, it's really tapping into that, you know, true heart center and the activated intuition and
Mhm.
operating from that place. Uh, and how can people access that? Because, you know, it's not like everyone has like the guidance. They're not going to be controlling their lives to the best of their ability if they're operating on a bunch of fucking ignorance and
Correct.
controlled conditioned programming since birth.
Mhm.
And they didn't like realize that since then, type of thing, you know? So
It's like an addict. You have to do the work every single day. You know, these people, they're tired, they're lazy, they don't want to do work. They want to be like, this is good enough, you know? And I think that's really what it boils down to is laziness in our society. If people really understood what it takes getting rid of distractions and getting rid of the feel goods, which is what I always tell everyone. It's like, you're doing lots of drugs. Sorry, that's not going to get you closer to God. You're having sex with multiple partners. I know that sounds fun, but you're not going to get anywhere. You know, you're harming people in your daily life to get ahead. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's like this is the kind of stuff people think is okay. That's been okayed in our society. That's been accepted by a massive group of people, so that makes it okay. But like morally, they're not putting it through a sifter, saying, "Hey, is this actually something I want to be seen doing, or is this okay?" They just do it. It's training. They're just on it, you know? And I think that's where they have to do the work. I'm trained. And
Yeah.
then, oh, triggers. This is what I learned through PTSD. When you're triggered, something bothers you. Why does that bother you? It's something you need to fix. A lot of people don't want you to trigger them. Don't trigger me. I'm trigger happy. I got to walk around on eggshells so you don't get triggered. The truth is, you should be triggered. The more you're triggered, the more you'll heal. So start being triggered. Every time you're triggered, be like, oh my God, I'm triggered. Why am I triggered? And fix that. And so that's something about that I've learned through PTSD that actually is why I have to do work. And this is why I'm so far along in the game, because I had a lot of trauma at a young age and I was not going to be a functioning adult if I didn't work through it. And I did not do the regular way. I don't take pills and medicine and all that. I'm not into it. So it was more of a mental, how do I make my brain understand how to
Mhm.
think different? So that's what I tried to do. And so I did, you know, I changed the way I think. That's why it's so confident because this is a reality for me. This is exactly how I live my life. And, you know, some people want to get there. And the way to get there is to get rid of every single thing they know. And that's hard. That's just
Yeah.
hard.
Very scary.
Sections. You got to do it in little sections. You got to take it little by little, one day at a time. Just like an addict weaning off of these wants and needs that are not real, but they feel real. And they feel like I'm losing something, but I'm gaining knowledge. I'm losing, I'm gaining, I'm losing. They're breaking. They're breaking. They can't handle it. So I work with people all the time. Spiritual. I have a lot of different levels that I like to play, but I'm definitely a spiritual guide in another way, you know, or I can help people ascend or get to another level with things. And so I work with people like this and they're like, I don't understand what's wrong with me. And it's perspective every single time. If they go through trauma loops, they're going to see the same thing. You get in a relationship, the guy abuses you, you break up with him, you're empowered, you're better. You get in another relationship, that guy's going to abuse you. You can't get away from abusers. You're always going to see an abuser if you grew up like that. If you're in a trauma loop, that's what your reality is. You looking for that kind of person and they don't know they're drawing it to themselves because of a perspective. They only see darkness because that's how they live, you know, and
Wherever
only
you go, there you are. That
that
phrase. Yeah.
you can't run away from your own sight.
Mhm.
You're going to see ugly if you feel ugly. You're going to see sad if you feel sad. You're going to see depressed if you're depressed. It's what you are. You see what you are. Life is a mirror. That's the matrix. Everything around you is to show you what you are. It's really cool. That's why I like it. I used to hate this game,
but also what we're not. I mean, we're in a collective consciousness. I mean, you know, like there's people operating on like, all that stuff, you know, like not everything out there is like a mirror of me. I'm looking at a mirror right now in front of me, but
but a mirror of
the window,
something.
but yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Mirror.
just like talking to people last night, like out of the blue, someone just something, okay. People are off of whatever kind of fucking drug these days. Also, they're in like
They're not in their right mind to have the conversations we're having.
Yeah.
So a lot of people aren't on the level in the first place, and I don't put them there because I learned the hard way that I can't lower myself to someone's level because that makes me look non-respected as a spiritual leader. But I can't lift them to my level either because that's hurting them as I'm pulling them up that mountain, up that jagged rock, scratching them up because they're not ready for those realities either. So I can't help them yet. They're not at the place where I can help them yet. That someone else down there is going to have to be on their mindset to get them to see something that they can't see yet, because that's really what it is. It's a mindset. It's really funny,
And I
It's
don't think that people can see certain things at certain levels of consciousness or levels of healing or lack thereof. And I like what you're saying, emphasizing the mental, emotional healing that needs to take place to ever break out of this trap, the rat race, this trap that people are in and perpetually feeling pretty dissatisfied with. There is, again, the need to look inward at one's addictions and traumas and do that deep work.
Yep.
And then to really be honest, right, with themselves. And like you said, stop hurting people. So understanding natural law, understanding the ways that our lifestyle is actually causing harm often, and then finding, and then people get lost. Like they're like, I have no idea, how do I get there, right? So here you are identifying yourself as a spiritual guide, a teacher, you're offering skills, right? And I think that this role of teacher mentor is an essential one to help, bridge this gap, right? Of people not even understanding that this lifestyle can be possible and how.
Exactly.
So two questions is like, what are the perks? Like what is this lifestyle that you live in and what makes it special? Like that you would want to sell, like that people would be like, yeah, those are the qualities of being I want to have.
Well, the perks are I am valued as a person without having money. When I walk into a door and I see people, I know I'm important and I don't have to have anything to show them that I'm important. I just know I am.
That's kind of rare in America, isn't it, though? Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's real. I want everyone to feel that way.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, keep going.
It's a beautiful... No, it's okay. Cut me off all day. I don't care. I see that as interacting. I'm Irish, we're like, hey, everybody's talking, but yeah, I just feel valued as a human. And I think that's what every person deserves. A lot of people don't have that. They feel like they need to do better. They need to do more. They're not doing enough. They're not good enough. They're never going to be good enough, blah, blah, blah. I don't have those feelings. That's the perks. I wake up with a clear conscience every day with no worries. I don't have bills. I don't owe anything.
Ooh, what a relief.
I don't know what that feels like to not have bills. I haven't had bills in 10 years. Everybody's like, bills, bills, bills. I'm like, Destiny Child song? I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
And then
you mentioned a bit off air about the community too, and like the experience of being a part of a real community. Right?
It's real people who really want that lifestyle, and then you build upon that, and each person has their own dream and they just get to have it, and we all help each other get it, and it's really cool. And I think the bigger like the communities are, the better it is, because everybody can have that feeling. And I really want that. I don't know how to create it yet, but I want it big. I have my small one that I love, but like, I'd love to get everyone to have their own, but not make it like culty, and where like, you're not allowed in our group and we do weird shit here. And like, I don't like how people twist things, and I'd like it to be like kind of like holy, not like, like in a sense of like boring, but to the sense of like I feel pretty good when I'm hanging out with these people, and I don't feel like there's any weird vibes, and like, and nobody's trying to make me feel uncomfortable or anything. And it's like all good vibes. And like, we have builders, we have electricians, we have scientists, we have architects. I mean, like, everybody matters. And a lot of the people were like, they went to school for this stuff and they never got to do it for a career. And it's like, this is what I want to do with my life, but no one will let me do it. No one will give me a chance. And it's like, well, here's your chance, buddy. You get to do this now. And so they get to do what they always wanted to do. And then they're helping people while they're doing it. And so that's where you begin, you know? So a lot of people, that's the selling point for them. They're like, wait a minute, I get to do what I want. And, you know, and like everybody wants me to. It's like, yeah, yeah.
And
So you
not
don't,
worry about licenses and restrictions
no,
and all the bullshit and the
like,
degree. It's like
like
we
the
work with apprenticeship and mentorship and mutual exchange,
no,
right?
we don't do none of that paperwork crap. We just do
Yeah.
like the we're like, we're Native Americans, here's some wood, let's learn, you know, we're like, we're out here like the, you know, how we should be. I feel like it's everything's commerce is ridiculous. It's like, what? Everything they want me to pay for, I can't believe it. And it's like getting less and less as the years go on. I'll make someone get it for me and then I'll do something in trade for that. But like, I still can't believe some of the stuff's prices. Like, it's gone up and up and up. And like, I don't live in the hood, you know. I live bougie, and that's sad. I shouldn't be this way. I lived on the woods, in the woods. I kind of lived in like a little like camper, and I had a shack, and like I was trying to like humble myself and be like, I don't need nice things to be happy, and like I need a little bit nice things. I think everybody needs that. We all want that in a certain sense, but like,
So
you
I've
know,
love,
not,
truth, and beauty, yo. Like,
yeah, not get there. That's really the problem, and you know,
I like
be
how you're saying people don't have to give up the
no,
beautiful things that they
no.
like and that give them pleasure and, you know, have a comfortable home
Exactly.
or bed. You know, this is still possible. It doesn't have to be like going back to, you know, like a
No, that's where they always think. They're like, here we go. We're Amish. We have to live in a log cabin and be paupers and like live with burlaps. It's like, come on, guys. I'm like out here bougie. Like, no, no, honey, you could still live, but it's how you do it. You have to do it right. You know, you're not going through the regular rigmarole of loops and loops and hoops and hoops to get all this approvals to get everything. That's crazy. You just go to one or two guys that already get approved of everything and they just buy stuff and then you're like, cool. You get me stuff here, I'll do stuff for you. And that's pretty much how it works. It's the trade life is way better for me. I'm lucky I've met the right people. But again, I believe in manifestation and magnetism. So I'm like, who can I magnetize to me that has those type of things that would want my services? That's going to be a good combination where we can help each other and I could teach them how to use their whatever they have, because I have farmers that are my friends and I'm like, come on, man, help people with this. You know, you have 160 acres, you're one old guy, what are you doing? You know, like, let's do community farm here. Like, so I try to push people to use
exactly.
resources. I
Exactly.
don't milk them, I don't need them. I want them to use the resources to help people. And that's what the trade life becomes. It's like we start meeting the right people that have all this money and they're like, and now we're the ones that are like, we don't live with money. Why are all these people with money coming to us? Because we're distributing it to the people who need it until we don't need it anymore because everybody has the trades. We don't have to buy it from people making it in China. We could just have it and everything's nice. I mean, it's crazy. You don't have to have huts. It's ridiculous. It really is.
I'm so
I
glad.
know.
That's a
But
relief.
at the same time, so this is gonna sound, what you just said is brilliant. I love it, but it will sound ridiculous to someone
It does.
earning over 100K a year in whatever fucking techie town or wherever now because it's all online or whatever the fuck. You know, like
Cool.
here's the thing, like there's a thing called like giving up your comforts and then giving up your comfort zone and then
Right.
giving up your comfortable routine and what you're used to and this and that. And like when you don't have that anymore and when you have to rely on your own fucking like, or not just that, not like
No, you're right.
manhandling your fucking life
But
and
you
all
get
that. But
different
what
ways.
you're doing, I wanted to mention as well, is it's such a beautiful embodiment of that divine feminine essence, the magnetism, the law of attraction, all that stuff, and like how you've willed that to such a immeasurable way of existence in your life is yeah, it's incredible. Like straight up, yeah.
Yeah, kudos.
Very inspirational.
I believe it. I really believe anyone can have this. I literally grew up in the slums of Detroit. I was adopted. I was sold for drugs at 4 years old. Like I am literally a miracle story. I grew up with no family and no help. And I put myself through college and I literally kept trying to be somebody because that's what they told me. You need to have money to be somebody. So I tried so hard to get money for a long time. And then one day, boom, it hit me. If I'm this good at getting money, I'm this good at not getting money. I can do it.
Oh,
And
love it.
flip it. And I knew I could live around their systems because I knew that I was smarter than them. And that's why they tried to keep me down for so long and keep me in the pits of hell, you know? But
Yeah.
I had people down there and that's why I was there. I really believe everything happens for a reason. And I believe I was supposed to be in those places to help the people through that because I was stronger than them, you know? And I was a single mom and I am. And I love raising my daughter by myself because if I had some man telling me I couldn't do this and couldn't do that, let me tell you what, it'd be an attitude all day. And also afraid. Hello, how am I going to get a guy to do this kind of life? Like, oh, honey, I'm going to go make something. We're going to trade and get this condo. They're like, wait a minute, what? Huh? So, you know, it's easier to do it alone and keep doing things. And then people are like, oh, wow. 10 years later, they're like, can I do what you're doing? I want to know. And I have a lot of people asking me, how do I get out? My friend, he just quit his job. He's made more money since he quit his job than he made working his job. And he just can't believe it. He's like, people are handing me money because I don't want money. I'm like, I told you, dude, you're going to have money to buy records. You're going to have money to have fun. You can go ride your bike now. You can have live your life, you know? And people are literally doing this. They're literally changing. They're trying, you know? And if they actually do the work and heal, they're actually going to be able to see that they don't have to live in that loop. You can actually have beautiful things and someone who has money can pay for you because there is people out there that have way too much and they don't even know what to do with it. So they just need to give it to you guys. No one
Right.
ever and have it. And that's what I'm here to do is to connect them to the poor and be like, you guys want to be important. You guys want to look cool. Start helping. You look cool when you do that. And a lot of rich people are like, oh yeah, that is kind of a good look. Let me donate. Let me contribute to this building fund, whatever, you know?
And that gives people who are retired and, oh, lost a sense of purpose in life because I was so attached with my ego to whatever job and career I had and whatever commendable things they did with that, that's fine. Yet they can renew themselves in their purpose with exactly what you're talking about. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome too, because we do in our community, what we do is we have the elderly with the kids. So we have the old people telling the kids stories.
That's better than drag queen time story at the fucking schools. Implement old school, old people up in the schools. Fuck this motherfucking bullshit. Sorry.
The generations, bring them back. Because it's establishing sense of purpose. And, I'm hearing a lot of threads are running through my head on what you're saying, but there's the wealthy or people who are financially, materially comfortable and living kind of in their own little bubble of service to self, me and mine.
Exactly.
Right? And often they're not spiritually happy, and may actually seek a greater sense of purpose.
That's what's happening.
Offering to the community for something good. I think most people want to. They want to connect.
Want to help.
So and to be of service to all, recognizing our interconnectedness as people, and that we can express our individuality fully within the I guess the net or web of a interdependent community where people are working reciprocally, right? And supporting and valuing each other's individuality.
So everybody matters, Grandma comes over apple pies. We all want the apple pie, you know. Everybody feels valued, so they're not like, oh my God, I need a new family. Oh my God, I need a new job. Whatever they're doing to feel good, you don't need it anymore. It goes away. And I think that's why we're filling all these gaps. We're like, oh my God, because we lack this one thing that we really truly need. That's how we're built. We're built to work with each other. We're built to depend on each other. We're not built to be independent. That's the lie they sold us that I never signed on, dude.
Yeah. Cooperation, teamwork, nobody's really living to just be alone.
No.
Like nobody's going to really be happy with all the material goods in the world, but just as them sitting there, right? So
No, they're really bored. And a lot of the rich people that I'm connected with, they feel guilt because they're like, man, I'm walking around my cities. A couple of my friends live in Los Angeles and they're like, just driving around, I see tents under every bridge. And it's like, man, just $100,000 could help all these people in tents. It's like, bro, you have no idea. Like, start helping, but don't donate to these fake charities. Like, create your charity. You're rich already. You could literally go out there and be like, I want this done, and they'll do it. Like, it's just a lot of people need ideas. They need someone to tell them what to do with their money, and I'm here to do that. I swear to God, you could sign me up right here. I'm good.
You've got vision. Yeah, big vision.
On a mission. Get that mushroom leather out there because that's going to change the world. Because if we do vegan leather and we get rid of killing animals for leather, it will just change the game on so many levels. Fabric for, couches, restaurants, everything. Like, it could be this vegan leather, and we have a bunch of different stuff like cactus, SCOBY. I mean, the sky's the limit on all the stuff I'm making out of tea. I mean, I'm making fabric out of food now. So, like, again,
Wow.
they can't stop me. You know what I mean?
So please expand more, because right now there's a big trend. There's a group of people really talking about exit and build, and that is what you're doing. And so you're talking about that you have some solutions for making food, clothes, medicine, all from mushrooms, right?
Yes.
Can you talk more about that? I'm really fascinated.
There is.
Me too, because it's shroomadelic, yo. Sorry.
Shrooms are the world saver also with hemp. They both could literally regenerate our planet and make everything better again. For mushrooms, there's literally mushrooms that eat plastic. We can literally inoculate the floating plastic trash out in the ocean, and it could just be taken over with mushrooms and then turn into like a wet substance and then feed the fish underneath in the water that are starving, that are being killed by plastic. Like, mushrooms literally can save the planet. We can make shoes, soles of shoes, and shoes out of mushrooms, and they can disintegrate when they're abandoned. We can have like non-perishables. We can have perishables. The medicine is like endless. We have lion's mane. I mean, it goes on and on. There's ailment type. It's just, it's beautiful.
Chaga, reishi, cordyceps, all these mushrooms. Yeah.
The fabric is a new, which is actually a reincarnated old custom they used to do back before grandmas and grandmas were here. And now that we're here, we're relearning all these old like customs that they just basically took away from us because they wanted us to have to pay instead of us being able to do it without them. And that's really the problem.
Yes.
When we don't need our government, they're not going to like that. So they have to be needed. They have to keep implementing how we need them. But really, that's where I come in with the rejuvenation team. And we're like, see how they're lying? Sorry, guys. Propaganda's a motherfucker,
It sure is. Yeah, I love what you're saying. It's another divide, right? Again, demonstrating that when we can grow or access something that will create self-sufficiency, then we don't need the middleman. We don't need the market.
Exactly.
And people are very scared of that. And,
their value lies in that market. They think this is where I am. I work. I need to be a worker. But the problem is maybe they're needed somewhere else and they just don't want to look inside their heart and see what they actually want to do. They want to be told what to do. And I think it's training. I don't think they really want that. There's a lot of people like that are convinced they want to be BDSM. And I think it's from trauma. I'm like, you don't want that. Someone told you you like that. Now you like it. It's the same concept to me as this. Everybody's trained so hard to want that. That gives them fulfillment and value. And you're a bad person if you don't want that. You see, that's sickness, man. That's a sickness. And since I've been cleaned of my PTSD, I know I don't need any of those feel goods to get me to the next place. I just need to do what's best for me, make sure I'm healthy, make sure I'm eating, make sure I'm taken care of, have shelter. And I believe everyone should be able to have that. That's if we have this, like I've been saying this forever, sharks out in the ocean, they're not paying anyone to eat fish. They're just swimming around grabbing them. So why are we paying for anything that's free on this planet? I don't understand that. I will never understand that. Money's a made up concept. It's just a joke.
There's people laboring away, like that's value in and of itself, like time and labor and energy put forth to make something,
There's many Van Goghs in
or
our home.
even to like hunt something sometimes or whatever. That's part of like the exchange value of that. It doesn't need to be sold all the time, but
exactly. Nobody is better than one person. And that's why I do I'm in Colorado doing like homeless. I'm working with the homeless. I'm doing, I'm kind of opening a food shelter right now. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm called to like help people. And so I'm on this spiritual journey. And since I've gotten here, there's literally like maybe 300 homeless people total. Like I haven't seen that many, and they're all like willing to get back on their feet and willing to do things. And like, it's not like, I want to kill you. Like all these lies people say, like they're actually really in need. And like, they just want regular stuff like everyone else. They just want food. They want a house. And some people are like, well, they don't want to work. It's like, do you want to work? Like, why do we have to work? Like, no one wants to work. What are we talking about here? So again, we're like shaming these people for actually doing what we all want to do and can't. And
it's jealousy in a lot of ways.
A lot of people.
I was going to ask you, what is your relationship to time and work in this?
It's like, it's my whole life pretty much. I dedicate my entire existence to this. This is my journey. Every day I take steps towards it. It's very important. So, but as far as time, I believe it's kind of a tool that I play with. I don't necessarily know if I have to abide by time's rules. So I don't necessarily know. Everything that I'm doing, I know it's going to work out, because I have special teams, forces on my end and the spiritual side. I feel like I have backup. So my backup works through people to get me where I want to be. And that's how I believe.
Living that nonlinear lifestyle, time is not always relevant, but we got to, keep that in mind with everyone else in this reality.
Exactly. So if you're dabbling in the matrix, if you're in and out, you have to realize they're playing by a rule that you're cheating. And so you have to know when to make it look like you're playing by the rule and when you're not. And that's another problem with this lifestyle, is that you kind of have some people that will try to take it away from you. So you have to make it look like you're doing what they're doing. So they're comfortable and they leave you alone until they come to you and say, how do I live like you? You can never tell them. They'll try to ruin it. And that's another thing. That's why these podcasts are, going to be, let's see what happens, because I'd love to see how they react to it. A lot of people are really scared, but they don't give up comfort. I have everything I want. It's really funny. It's how you get it.
So would it be true that you are choosing what to do with your time, and it's based on your mission and your values? So the principles are at the foundation with your mission. Would that be true for you?
I think I'm guided by a higher existence, and it's making me do things that I maybe wouldn't think about doing right away. I might be like, hey, I want to go out and hang out. And my higher power is like, hey, you're going to go call these people and make these moves. So my journey is listening to my higher power and doing what I'm told. I literally don't think I have choices. The only choices I have is my behavior. That's what I believe. I believe I get to choose how to act. Everything else is my gut telling me where to go and who to kind of interact with and who to maybe work with, because what I'm doing, it will happen. whether they want me to or not. And the more they try to hide it, the more it will happen. So evil always backfires in the Matrix. And that's the coolest part about evil, is that you start seeing a lot of it. You're like, oh man, this is about to happen. Oops, sorry, my battery's getting low.
No worries.
You want to go plug it?
I might have to
But yeah,
plug
it
it.
sounds like you're just, you're quite aware and aligned to your soul contract, whether subconsciously or whatever,
I'm
And you're
definitely
listening.
gut feeling, the intuitive feeling, notions, yeah.
good.
And I think that is
Absolutely.
like, to me, it's like a luxury, like, oh, because I
Yeah.
want to, I can imagine, and I know that when I'm kind of unplugged,
Mhm.
this like matrix life, I can start to feel that, and that's where I want to live.
Exactly. That's where I live. Just that. Whew.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing because you can be helpful. You can do your spiritual work. You can get out there and do things you like to do. But when you're constantly pressured, man, you can't function. You're like, what? I don't got time. I can't help you. And we're not able to do our spiritual work.
Yep. And you're all up here, all spinning.
So our higher powers and our energy is going to make it so everything's easier for us to teach people without having that burden over us. And I think that's why you guys are meeting me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you could get to that next level, because I'm that gateway. Like you said, when you start meeting me, then you're on your way,
So
to that.
Cheers.
So is
Yeah.
the clothes you're wearing from mushrooms? Are those
No, this is woven hemp though.
Oh, it's
So that,
woven hemp.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
So it's pretty cool. I have like a lot of looms, and I like to get into it and put like people's logos in it and stuff. I'm really into it, like putting words on stuff, and I make my own fabric from scratch. I'm just like really into like stuff they don't have, So that's how it started.
I got to make some special orders to like push my other YouTube channel or even ours, like make some logos out of some
I'll
hemp. That'd be off the hook, yo.
Oops, couldn't hear you, Elly. Say that again.
Said I'll make you guys whatever you want, but I don't take cash.
We'll have to figure out a trade.
Yeah, so all right. That's a great question. And I guess we're getting around the hour where we'll be wrapping it up, I guess, Leslie.
Okay.
I don't know.
Cool.
But so as far as like, like trying to appeal to people that, hey, the people that are, I just want to pay, tap my phone on some kind of like radar thing and I'll pay for everything with that now.
Mm,
It's getting more towards this cashless society.
I
They
know.
still, on the bankroll of all that stuff, but as far as like, well, and here's the thing, a lot of people they don't have much to offer outside of the dollar that they earned from their, jobs.
That's why they gotta learn trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please talk more on that. Like, how do you see that the trades are the way out?
I think people, when they follow their heart, I think people love what they make. It's really cool. It's like when you put love into things, people just want it. They want the shared love. They don't realize that. Like if you make a painting and you're just like, I want to make a painting for money, it sucks. But if you're like, man, I'm really sad and I just want to paint, and then it's like the most beautiful painting, everybody wants it, you won't part with it. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. People need to follow their heart and do their most beautiful things because they want to, not because they want someone to like them, not because they want someone to buy them, but just, this is me. This is an expression of me. I want the world to know who I am, and they're putting love into their stuff. That's a trait. No matter what it is, that's a trait. And I want people to start from there, because what skill should I learn? That's not going there, because that's going to categorize people. And then it's like, great, well, I don't fit in any of these categories. I guess I don't have a trade. I guess I got to do the money. It's like they always find a way back into that I don't fit, and they out themselves out the program because they can't handle what they have to give up. And that's really what it is, but I think starting from your heart, that's really where it comes. If you want to be a painter, be a painter. If you want to, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It could be the dumbest thing. Your parents said you'll never make money. Good. Do that. Do that. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a fashion designer. Going hard, doing that. Cause I know that's what I'm supposed to do. Follow your heart. People will love it. They want a piece of you. People want to be a part of you. They want to connect with people. They get a piece of you. They get to keep it forever, and they feel closer to you, and they love it. And I think that's
Especially the shining light side of it.
yeah. So I think people need to start loving themselves first before they can find the trade. And that's really where we're at. And in a fallen society, everything's crumbling. And if we go to digital money, money's fake promises, digital computers crash, no one has money. What's going to happen? You know, that's basically where it's going. So you keep preparing and doing what I'm doing. You guys are going to be like, oh man, that sucks that everybody's going through that, but we're all set. Yeah. We have the set up and we're all set. And then you can start helping people get into like places where they can't, and it's not money based, you know? And that's kind of, it scares people, but I'm here to help them because I know what it's like to be poor, and I know what it's like to feel like you can't do it and no one's going to give you a chance. They have to create their own chances, and that's what it is. And they don't think they're going to be able to. So they're like looking for handouts. And right now, that's what we got to do as spiritual leaders, give them handouts. And that's just what it is. And a lot of people are mad about that, but it's not really our fault and it's not on us. So we shouldn't care. And I tell a lot of spiritual leaders, if you're really spiritual, you want to help regardless of what it takes. So trust me, people are going to have to live without money very soon. And then they're all going to be running to me. How do you do it? How do you do it? But when we get rid of all this stuff, I'm not going to care about money anyway, you know, because we only want it for stuff. It's consumerism that's got to slowly end. This war should be helping, right? I mean, hello.
So you've started to identify kind of a somewhat of a linear starting place, like loving yourself, healing, loving yourself, and then do your craft. What do you want to make? What do you like to make? Right there. Can you continue with maybe a little linear trajectory for the people who are really, really want this? You know, what would you advise that they do? What steps?
Like the first thing, they just have to sit and kind of think about things, because a lot of the time people are so trained that they can't even think about what they want to do. They can only think about what other people want them to do or what's best for them later, things they might need to do but don't need to do. You know, it's really funny. And so once you put your priority list in order, that's what I would say, do a priority list. And that means what comes important to you, the most important things to you. And that should start from a spiritual place first, not materialistic. If you have only materialistic lists, I would say start from scratch and try again. A lot of people don't want that. That's not a good place to start because, you know, things are going to change. If we went back to the 1920s right now, the houses are not the same as they are now. The cars are not the same as they are now. So in 20 years, the houses are not going to be the same. The cars are not going to be the same. We don't want the same things. We're going to upgrade. We're going to get better. So everything's going to improve, and it's going to be like, oh, wow, we were fighting for nothing, you know? So I think that's where it's going to go. So I think priority list would be number one, writing down what's important, and then learning to love yourself should be on that list, because then you'll be able to find out how to start doing what makes you happy. And when you do what makes you happy, people will love you no matter what. They just want to be around that. That's infectious. It's really funny. It just draws them to, how do I get that? I want to smile every day. I want to be happy. So, you know, that's what that starts. That's the beginning.
So there's a need to be open to the interaction with people and the communication. And I think a lot of people I know I work with have been so wounded. They're wounded relationally, and they're afraid to reach out. But that's a requirement. We have to push through to connect and talk to other people and find the resonant lights, you know.
So true. Yeah. A lot of the people won't reach out, but what's going to happen is they're going to end up changing without wanting to, because this is a purge energy that's happening to our society and our worlds right now. It's like popping pimples. It's like, sorry guys, you got to come out. And so they got to come out whether they want to or not. And so here's what's going to happen. They're going to be like rejecting. Then when it starts happening, they're going to reach out to us and be like, oh my God, something's happening to me. And you'll be like, welcome, you know?
Right. Welcome. We've been waiting.
That's what's been happening. It's like, I can't force the issues. I can't be like, hey guys, you want this? I can't make them want it. I can sales pitch them all day long. It doesn't matter. They got to want it. They got to know. So when they start having the awakening, that's your cue to know, okay, this person's ready to talk about it. Until then, can't be forced, because they're not ready. They will try to get you back into the matrix. They will try to keep you there because it makes them feel comfortable in their reality. They have to do.
We need to know who we are and stay strong and solid.
Totally. Self-gnosis, self-love, self-reliance, and self-empowerment. Those are kind of like the concluding marks I have drawn from, way beyond, in a nutshell, just what you just said. But yeah, that's so much more to draw from what you said earlier. So,
well, you guys can use these tools too, and it'll help you get to where you want to be, Right.
Totally. Yeah.
And I really love and want to highlight that you said that when we are following our own inner calling and what we love to do and what lights us up, then we become magnetic. And people want to then be around us and share with us. And that is how those networks of community can be built.
They come to you. When you're on that level, they come to you because they know you're ready. Until then, it's perspective. You're drawing the energy to you that needs to teach you, that needs to show you that you need to ascend to go to that next level. And so people get stuck in that teaching. They really do. They're like, why is all these bad things happening to me? And it's like, hello, learn the lessons, get through this so you can go to the ranch, homie,
Like that. Yeah. Learn the lessons, do the work, and then you kind of get propelled up to this different level
of sight. You see your things working out. You see people liking you. You see people wanting to help you, but you never saw that before because it was like you couldn't see it. It didn't exist. You didn't believe it. It's not real to you. You have to believe it to see it. And that's a lie we've been told too, is that you got to see it to believe it, see it to believe. You'll never see it. You'll never see it. You got to believe it to see it as a fact. So keep that in mind for this test, A lot of people get stuck in that test loop because they can't see it to believe it. Right. And it's really like, guys, you're missing this. Believe it, make it up, whatever it is. Boom, you're out. You see something else immediately. It's really cool. So it's perspective.
Yeah, it definitely is all is mind. And you're really, demonstrating this and highlighting it with what you're saying, the importance of the first principle.
This is our computer. Don't let it run you. Run it. Put the programs in it you want it to do for you. Get it doing it. Don't let it run you. Don't let it tell you where you need to be, how you're at. That's not. Then you're AI, Then you're AI. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And that I was just about to do a reflex of my restream. I would have put a plug in for how the trivia method works. Like it's about the proper input, then the processing, and then you get the proper output of how a computer would do things. And of course, we're a multidimensional, silica, carbon, whatever type of etherical being, in a human flesh 3D suit and all that stuff. But sorry,
programming. It's about our wiring. Now what the world told us we want. You see?
Deprogramming and then finding, truth.
Make sure you put that black belt program in there. Make sure you got the little butterfly knife, you know how to get in and out of stuff, and make sure you're ready for anything, but don't live in
self-defense like we had with Chris Jansen last time. And also we talked about money with him earlier about this whole false ego attachment stuff. I cut you off so bad, sorry. Getting the right programs implemented. I feel you.
It's real, man. I don't know.
Fascinating.
Good. It is. It's a good way to think and live. And if you embody this type of lifestyle, your whole vibe changes. Everybody, they treat you different. It's really cool. So you get better outcome out of every situation. Everything works out. You never have trouble. Trauma, it's like fading. Like, what is trauma? It's nice. So you keep moving up, and then you can help others because you're clear and you know how to be like, hey, I don't have to worry, so I can help you get through this hard time. I can hold space for you in this hard time. And That's really what it's about, is clearing and finding peace so we could get to that level, you know? That's why we got to get rid of money, really, because people can't function with it. They can't live. They can't even think,
It
you
is
know?
too first, really, I think, to reform it, you know.
Mm,
Share
sure.
more about your current projects, where people can find you.
I'm kind of underground and I'm word of mouth. And so if I want to work with you, I'm going to contact you. You don't get to work with me unless I want to work. I'm that level. You know what I mean? I'm basically, I just, I work from home now, so I kind of have to pick and choose the energies I want to be around because I'm on a specific level and I don't want to be brought down. So I won't associate with people who work with money at all. And that's hard to find. So I got like 5 people that I work with, and that's about it. And it's just, we keep working with the same people and it works out for me. And I like it like that. But yeah, I normally, I don't do gigs anymore. I don't reach out. I used to do custom. Like if someone's like, I really want a jacket, I'll be like, I got you. And I'd make it. And that would be it. And it would be like one of a kind. So, but right now I'm focusing on a fashion show that I'm throwing in October. So I'm throwing my own fashion show, and it's going to feature the mushroom leather that I grew last year and all the hemp and all the faux fur and everything that I made in the last year. So I'm trying to show people how to use these organic fabrics in regular type clothing. So it's not this like hillbilly old worldy look. It's like, this is new. We can wear this stuff. This is going to be cool. So I'm trying to, and it's going to be really, it's an interesting crew. I got a marketing team helping me, and I'm really excited about this, but it's really hush hush. It's low key, VIP, hand selected, audience only. I am going to do a live Facebook, for the fashion show, but I'm not going to show people anything else because they only need to see what they need to know. It's a need to know basis. And the people that I'm working with are going to push the mushroom leather into the science programs in the schools and stuff. Like, I'm literally trying to get it to like the people. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you're celebs, let's make some cool stuff and keep it elite. No, I'm like, I don't care who you are. You're going to give me your network. We're going to tell them, and we're going to use all these people to get things. And so I'm working with specific people to get the message across faster. That's literally what it is. So that's kind of my mission, and I know I'm getting help. So I'm doing it because I know it's part of the journey, but it's going to be epic. It's all mushroom based. We do have kombucha, and we're going to have homemade beer and homemade wine on site. And then someone is making a portobello mushroom burger from the mushrooms we grow. So everything's from what we grow. Everything's organic. And I just want to get people to see the food, clothes, medicine in person. Like, oh, I can touch this. This is real. I love your philosophy, but how is this going to be in real life? I need to see this. So this is the tangible me showing them kind of. That's happening in like 4 months. So I'm planning that right now, and I'm doing it here in Colorado. So that's going to be exciting. So
Well, I feel like we're very privileged that you agreed to join us and share this, your wisdom. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Talk to you guys as well. And I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It means a lot. So
very inspiring and activating. I feel your energy is very activating.
Good. I need to activate everyone I come in contact with. It's like, if my flame is so bright and your guys' is dim, you come next to me, y'all's gonna be flame on.
I love it.
Blazing. Yeah.
That's a perfect name.
Blazing.
Elly Blaise.
Yeah. So just real quick, because it's been real great, Elly. And I wanted to slip that in there in the intro, but you lived in Milano.
Yes.
You speak a little bit of Italiano, and just like you being up in that scene. For me, it's shocking, especially these days, and like the horrific costumes they make, and it's already horrific how much money is spent over that fucking bullshit and whatever the fuck kind of freak show that is. Whatever. I'm sorry, anyone but so
scary.
Yeah,
it's literally a cult, and like they're like BDSM cult. Like everyone's wearing like leather bodysuits. Who's wearing this? No one. They invite me to the fashion shows. They ask me to come. I'm like, I will not be seen at this. This is garbage. Like, You don't understand. I'm on the natural tip. I don't like all that. If they want to do latex, they need to do SCOBY and be covering their body with SCOBY and be like, ooh, and then I'll be like, I'm coming. But like until then, you're not impressing me. This shit is basic, bitch. They ain't doing
Is
nothing.
that edible, by the way?
Oh, yeah, it is actually. It will heal your immune system as you eat it. Perfect.
Mm,
Swear to
hell
God, it's
yeah.
good for
But
you.
even on the skin, I think it'll be
In your
legit.
pores. Yeah, it'll go in your pores and it'll be like, yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, I know like there's poisonous mushrooms out there. I don't know if they could be turned into foods, or it's not foods,
Well,
but you know, clothing, whatever. But
we've been
I
doing
was never traumatized, but I was thinking about that one episode from I don't know if you remember the X-Files, where there's like the human eating mushroom thing that was getting people
course,
underground or some
yeah,
shit.
of course they would do that. So we never liked them. It's a good show.
Programming.
They do that and everything. It's all paid. I hate it. But as far as psychedelics, we've been doing research. I think it would be cool if we could make hats and shoes out of the psychedelics, and it could go into the soles of our feet and into the tops of our heads and heal our energy. That would be cool. But we are literally just doing research on that right now. We don't actually know. But when I do the water,
Wow.
it usually takes away the psychedelic properties. So the waterproofing cover,
Mm.
so it won't affect your skin or break out in rash or anything, because we want to make it, usable. So yeah, it's pretty cool though. There's a lot to it. And as far as like playing with the mushrooms, there's like the coolest thing I've found about it is that you can make the mushroom any color. If you throw like a vegetable in, like a carrot or a beet, it just turns purple or orange. Like it's amazing. So that's like another really cool, fun thing that I've been playing with is getting colored leather
Heat
tops.
it up till it's purple
I'm
or
telling you, just
red.
so
Yep.
I mean, I want people to learn about mushrooms because they're easy to grow. It's only 28 days in a closet and you got them. And so it's like anyone could do this. And if you can grow a tomato, you can grow some mushrooms. So I believe it should be a household thing and it will be very soon. So you guys will remember meeting me and you'll be like, I knew this lady was doing that. And now we're doing it. So I'll just send you some bags and you'll just do it in your
Oh. Yeah, I mean, is there a place
Wow.
you would refer people to learn more about how to do this on their own, or like, what's your vision of how people will learn?
I'm the one that's setting up all the programs right now. So probably within a year, I'll have a bunch of programs set up. I'm getting government funding and I'm doing the patents right now to make sure that we're covered by, like, I just feel like the government's just going to try and rape that as soon as I drop it. So I've really been trying to make it where, oh, damn, I'm going to try and make mushroom leather. Oh, I can't make big business. There's a patent on it and people are going to be cock blocked every time they go there, So that's what I'm trying to do.
It's
And
like open source or something like that that
it
you have
is.
to go through or
There's
something, right?
7 patents. It's really
Yeah.
crazy. Going through all of them. And it's like, there's science ones, inventive ones. Like there's so many ways they can milk it, man. It's crazy. And I want to make sure kids can have this as like a lifestyle. Like I just grow mushrooms. It's a part of our life. Like this is how we live. And like, I think that would be cooler than it being like, oh man, I got to pay somebody to have mushroom leather and then they can never have it. And then that's it. And it's free because it grows outside.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I'm going to keep my eyes open.
Keep your eyes open. I'll definitely I'll send you guys stuff since I know you. I'll send you the informations and like when I do the fashion show, I'll send you the, links so you guys can watch.
I would love to. Yeah, I'm excited actually to look more at the
Yeah,
mushroom leather, and I want to touch it.
Yeah.
So I might have to go to Colorado. I don't know.
You can cure it. And so it turns into suede or hard leather or whatever dynamic you want. I mean, the sky's the limit. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I've had mushroom jerky, so.
Right? And you can have food, clothes, and medicine from one thing. Done. And shelter. That's true. You could make houses. There's a lot of stuff you could do with it. It's guys mushrooms, and I'm just excited to teach people. I have a lot of
some friends who are going to be so excited by this.
I have scientists that I work with and teachers, and I have like all kinds of people that are going to help me show people how to do it. I'm not the only one. It's a team effort, but I'm collecting my favorite mycelium people and I'm like,
Yeah, you've
yeah,
aggregated so much research and people to like you make such a wonderful thing.
sorry, my phone's
Yeah.
up. You guys, I
Are you
apologize.
your battery's gonna die? So I
Let's
guess
ride it till the wheels fall off. No.
close this up before it closes us down.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, it's such a pleasure to meet you, Elly. I'm so happy that you joined us and love your enthusiasm, and I'm excited for what's to come. So thank you.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. It's good conversation, so I feel good about it.
Good. And thanks to Derek for finding you and
Yeah.
bringing you on.
Well, that's crisp, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I do music, and I'm like assigned. I basically write music for musicians under a signed label, so I'm very connected in the music industry. Kind of like another way that I get, what I need.
Building
Word.
relationships,
Oh, wow, cool.
teamwork, really so important.
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Music is a big way to help people heal. So I got to be involved in music because that's one of the spiritual ways,
As
So
far as the medicine, we got to let it in, but yeah, sorry.
no,
Music
So-
is medicine, and it's part of the quadrivium, right? It's part of our
So word activators, So I write music, and when people hear the words, they activate. So it's a good thing. It's part of the journey.
Well, I guess we'll call it, and this has been a great show. So
It's
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Elly,
been
Elly
amazing.
Blaise, thanks so much. I just want to finish off by saying, as far as like in it, it's so inspirational what you've said so much in so many ways, Elly. But yeah, like everyone has their own personal song, their own concerto within their soul,
Correct.
and it's all about bringing that forth. Like
That's
you
right.
said, expressing that through whatever means way. It could just be through, the vocal cords or whatever kind of craft, whatever type of thing, interest, like tap into your core essence and, your heart, think about what you're passionate about, and then go from there kind of thing, right? So
People,
it's simple, right? So yeah, we can all do it. We all got that within us. And
inner
I
child.
wish you all the bon courage from France with that.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Everyone who's listening, share this Dissolving the Divide podcast. All right, we'll see y'all later.
Ciao.
Ciao. Bye, Elly.
Yeah, thank you.
Get rid of these outdated systems. It's a new way of thinking. Bringing the new everything. New engineers, new designers, new things.